Donnie B GotDaBeats.
Good evening, everybody. It's Donnie B got the beats. We live on the beat. You already know what time it is when you hear that beat bang, boy. Look, this is the last episode for season 5. I'm completely excited, but we had to do something really special for y'all. My camera tripping. Give me a second. Come back, bring the camera back. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes cameras be doing that. Anyway, like I said, I wanted to do something real special for you. So this guest tonight is it's going to be a good interview. Just trust me when I say that. So you know what time it is. It's time for that glorious intro, y'all. Stay tuned. So look at this, man. Look, for those that's been following and those that watch Donnie B got the beats, I talk a lot about my hometown. I talk about DMV in the DC area and what it was like growing up there and so forth and so on. And in my travels, you know, I always try to unearth talent and find the best people moving so I can just align myself with them and hopefully help them out to make them better people. And they do the same for me. But this person, man, stroke of luck, of genius, of just pure luck. Happened across this young lady. We'll get into that story a little bit later on in the interview. But ever since, I mean, just complete total rider. That's my little sis, man. Like, you know, like we hold each other down. I know her family, she know my family, but this is my family. You know what I'm saying? And I felt we really needed to close out season 5 personally. You know what I mean? With growth, with love, with just friendship, excitement, everything that's, you know, that one can say. But anyway, I would say all to say, I gotta bring on my little sis, man, my family, my rider, Treese. What's good, Treese? How you doing? The national recording artist, you know, entertainment entrepreneur extraordinaire. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Very good. How you doing?
Good, man. I'm just, you know, just trying to track, man. I had a long weekend, man. 4th of July was all over the place. It was bananas. You can look at people's timeline and tell, but just trying to pick up the pieces from the weekend, but it is what it is. But I'm excited to have you on. Seriously. I can't wait for people to see what you got cooking and to learn more about you, though. Seriously.
All right.
So with that being said, we're going to jump straight into this thing. Let's start and set it way back, way back. So people that don't know, because I know you. But for those that don't know, let everybody know just who is Treese.
Treese is you, okay? Treese is the people. I'm just a girl with a dream, like so many other people. When you're a young woman, somewhat. And I mean, I'm just a hardworking person. I'm a mom, and I'm an artist. And I just, you know, fight and make this dream happen. Always have that.
Always have it. I stamped that message. Believe that.
Yeah.
So, Treese, going back to the beginning, growing up in ... Tell everybody where you grew up and what was it like for you to grow up there, and what hurdles and obstacles that you had to overcome to become the success that you are today.
Well, I grew up most of my years. I grew up in Fort Washington, Maryland. But of course, in my young years, I was like born in DC, lived in DC, a smaller town, and lived in Temple Hills, which is in PG County, and then moved to Fort Washington. middle elementary school and all the way up. And you know, the DMV area, you get to see a lot. You see a lot of people trying to make a way for their children. You see a lot of brothers trying to get fed, you know. Uh, you see poverty. You see where our community really hurt, you know. Um, Growing up with family members that live in different areas, and friends that live in different areas, and me running the street in different areas, you get to see it all, you know. See the ugly, see the pain, you see the dysfunction that we have, and then you also see uh, how beautiful we are, how we are fighters, how we go hard at everything we do, um, how we're survivors, how we all got the strength to get up and pull ourselves out and pull the next one out. And all of that goes in, you know, party life and the party scene, and then the work scene in corporate world, trying to get paid in corporate America with this brown skin. And, you know, some friends or family members feeling like you might be getting a brand new when you're not, you're just trying to get paid, you're trying to get better, you're trying to know better. But at the same time, fighting that corporate world because you might be the only inmate against others who are more privileged. So living on that at one time, it can be a lot, you know. So that's all about the DMV area. I love my area. I want my area to be better and for us to treat each other better. But I love my area. There's things that you can't get anywhere else that you can get here. That you can't get government. You know, you get the key home here. You can get mumbo sauce here. Okay, you can get cursed out or stepping in front of somebody like at the Ace check caption place. You can get it all here.
Yeah.
And you can, you know, make it to the White House as well. So it's a lot.
Well, I'm glad you touched on all that because you know I in my travels I've tried to tell people, you know, non-DMV, non-Wakandians that you know, when it comes from where we kind of at your neck about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, you don't get a pass, you don't get a fair one. At the end of the day, you know, you be your best self at all times. And if not, somebody go check you or take you for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people just don't understand that. Do you agree with that? I mean, and how much do you agree with that?
I do agree with that. I agree. You know, here you have to be strong. And like in other places, in many other key points in, you know, Philly and Chicago. But here, you have to be strong. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to always be knowing confusing things, be ready for that person to know what it is. Always. I agree with that.
Okay.
But our women, we definitely do.
All right, thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Make sure that you guys let Treese know. Feel free to hit her up in the chat section, so we can make sure that we let her know that you know, she's well received and so forth and so on. If you got any questions, feel free to hit us up in the chat as well.
Yeah.
And to like and follow and subscribe to Treese at Treese Boulevard 1 on Facebook and the real Miss Treese on IG, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! We got some stuff cooked up. I'm excited though, and I don't get excited. I'm excited.
I know.
Going back a little bit further, or you know, staying in the back, right?
Mm-hmm.
To understand exactly who Treese is. I know you mentioned who Treese is. You talked about you know, growing up in the PG. I'm sorry.
I can give you some really.
Well, I definitely want to get to that. I want to get to what does Treese stand for, like brand wise, to you.
That's a good question. Treese stands for strength. Treese stands for a strong woman about her business, about her children, about her family, and about making a way for the next person to get through. And doing it in a real way. I'm not perfect. Treese is the representation of not perfect,
I like that.
non-perfection,
Now,
elegantly non-perfection.
okay, okay. I want to ask too, and this is a not off the script, off schedule question. I want you to address, because this, I'm sure you'll get this question if you don't already.
Mhm.
How do you differentiate yourself from other female recording artists? I mean, there's a ton of them now, especially in the rap game now, from the Lottos to maybe the Stallions, Cardi B's. Like the door is wide open.
Yeah.
And considering you have this microphone and this platform right now, I would like for you to talk to people and let people know how is the Treese brand different from the Lotto brand, different from the, like I said, the Cardi B's or the Foxy, Foxy Browns, or well, she's not even well, Foxy Browns or whatever, you know what I mean? But you tell people how Treese sets herself apart from everybody.
Treese sets herself apart because I have to honestly say Treese is a combination of many female artists. And I'm sure maybe the other ladies would say that to a certain degree, given their age, some of it they have dabbled in as much as me. But it's definitely a combination of the female rap face all the way around the coin. You know, um, I have a huge respect for Little Tim and what she did in her time in that movement, and that was a huge impression on me at that age, and it stuck with me even through style, the color, you know. But um, also Queen Latifah with the serious, in your face topics, and you ain't gonna dance to this. You gonna listen to the serious words.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Lauryn Hill as well with the serious poetry, rap, and sing. Uh, as well as going back all the way back to Yo-Yo with that street girl flavor. Even Salt and Pepper, I have to say, with that real flavor. And then moving forward to the uh, and the and the in your face character, you will buy it. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and then Cardi, back to then Cardi, where this is me, stuff me for me. I feel like I'm a combination of a artistry,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what makes me a little different. Because straight out the gate, I'm not going to be talking about the extra thing that you're thinking about right now. I'm gonna make some shit make you dance. Because I like to dance, I like to shake around too. My little demons, they like to shake too. But first, I'm gonna get my artistry, which is this is what I do. Respect me, respect my craft. Then we get to the other stuff. And that's not what we do because, the game and the industry and your consumers and even some of the other rappers, they just want the commercial right quick. They want to, give me that commercial song right quick. And that's not what I'm at. And I'm not just a rapper, I'm an artist. I consider myself a poet. I write poems. So I'm a little different.
That's a good explanation, and I thank you. I appreciate that, and I'm glad you answered that question. And hopefully, people going back, in the future, will go wind back to go to this interview to take notes. I want to ask you. This is my favorite part. How
Yeah.
did you get into the music industry?
Man, okay. So when I was a kid, right, I used to always write songs down verbatim each word. Right. So that's you and I too, like I feel like but biggest of all time, like to write down Tupac songs, right? I love Tupac. I play in third grade, writing down his song. And then I will remember. And then I started realizing I had a passion for these words and was talking about it. And I just started, writing songs here and there. And I started writing poetry. And uh, I dabbled in dancing a little bit. Like I really like the art of choreography. Uh, but I always picked it up, put it back down, pick it up, put it back down. But then once I got around 17, actually, let me go back. When I was about 14 or 15, a friend of mine, she was cool with these dudes. Some of them was in high school, some of them was out of high school. They had their own studio. Gosh, what was it called? Oh, I got to figure it out. But she took me to the studio and I made my first song. It was so funny. It was like, Blakey Blue 1 2 1 2, Blakey Blue 1 2 1 2. And I just got in there and I just started rapping, trying to sound like Kim Williams. And I loved it. I loved how it felt. Absolutely loved it. But again, I put it back down. And then I'm gonna have to remember that studio. He will kill me for not remembering it. Once I got around 18, I met someone at the store. I was like, I got a studio, taking colors. And I was like, okay. And I went there. I was at Massachusetts, Maryland. And I ended up meeting another person. He had by the name of Jay Twist. It was like he found this guy and found me. Jay Twist was a producer / artist. And I was trying to find myself. And so once we started working together, the love story just kept growing. And that's pretty much how I got into it. But I did not at the time stay consistent, which is very cool.
Okay.
Now, shout out to Zale. He had his first studio I ever went to. I can't remember the studio.
It's not a big deal.
Zale, Brian Zale. Shout out to you.
There you go.
There
you go. Now, interestingly enough, along the journey after that, we crossed paths. And we got to say it, like it's a very funny scenario because it was like literally met Treese at a dentist office. I was getting work done.
Yeah.
And I just, and she was just behind the counter. I was just like, this is going to sound like it was a total pickup line, but it wasn't. It was like, you seem like a rapper. Do you rap? Or you or record? Like, you're a recording artist? And she was like, yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. Let me know if I got this wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how I am now.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, well, we exchanged information, and then next thing you know, we just started working together and working on projects and so forth and so on. And at least as far as I know, they say it's history. I never knew the information that you shared beforehand, though.
Yeah, I don't think I talked about that.
No, we've never talked about that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Vinyl records. That was the first one.
See what I did?
And that was important. Yeah. Vinyl records. Shout out to B-Zell. He was always trying to get me a chance. He started time, but I was still learning. My writing was all over the place. But yeah.
Interestingly enough, that's one of my favorite attributes about you. I can say that now over all of these years. One of my favorite attributes about you, probably my most favorite, is your ability to adapt, and you always hungry to stay learning.
Yeah,
you do. If you want to keep growing, you have to adapt.
Definitely.
But that kind of common sense isn't common these days, right?
No, it's not. I get respect from Nikki. She's one heck of a artist. And it made me to write as well. And I really, really like her. I like Lotto too. Lotto, her shit like you just wanted to sing in the club forever. But Nikki, the craft is so perfected, So you gotta always do that.
Noted.
I'm sorry if y'all can't hear the fireworks outside.
I'm sure it's no consequence. It's all good.
What's going on?
I want to ask you, with your travels, what would you say are or were your biggest obstacles in establishing yourself in the industry?
Ask me again.
What would you say are or were your biggest obstacles in establishing yourself in the industry?
In the industry. Oh, the biggest hurdle for me, especially a little time ago, was DMV, the support. You know, it's hard. You go out to all these different things. At one time, I was supposed to my, which you probably know, I hate. Go to my, it feels good. Feel like someone's trying to carry me, but it's not going nowhere. You know, um, the hurdle is the system, and the system is either pay this to be here, pay this to get in this line, but then it don't lead you anywhere. And a lot of times it leads you to an argument because you get this line and the promoter, whoever, they put their boy first, they put their man first, they put from neighborhood first. And next thing you know, you in line for something that you like, what don't be heard? So that's a big hurdle here in my area. I feel like down south is a little better. And the support is big, local artists are big down south, and that's what make it. You know, not more than make it than up here. That was one hurdle. The other hurdle is, of course, with the female. You know, you're female and you like the look cute, you like what you're dressed sexy. A lot of times, you know, people with somewhat connection to the industry or no connection at all. They, you know, you exchange information, and the next thing they might say, no, I like you, right? You know, I want to date, or
Right.
you know, I want to meet you, right? And you just like, can we stay focused on business, my brother? Business. You know? But that's a big hurdle. Really, really hard. And it can become so frustrating that you don't get it, especially if you're not willing to sacrifice who you are. You know.
You know, I'm glad that you brought that up. That's a very judgmented perspective,
Mm-hmm.
and by all rights it should be, because it actually happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that was always something that I always kind of just tried to make sure that I was very cognizant of that line, because
Yeah.
to me it's just one of those things as to where it's and it's an old adage that I actually learned from my dad. It's like you don't piss where you lay your head at. You
Right.
know what I mean? That's just not good business, you know, and it will always end in a bad way. That's one of the things that I always just carry with myself when working with, you know, artists
Yeah.
such as myself or other female artists. It's just boundaries. It's
Yeah.
boundaries, you know. So, and you know,
Yeah.
and then if you do that, then how does that set everybody back or set you back and so forth and so on?
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? So there's a lot
Mm-hmm.
to that, but this is your interview.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I don't know, there's relationships that can happen, like, you know, maybe a producer or a promoter and an artist, and it could really become something. But both people got to really be on the same page, you know, and not using their position against the other to dangle in front of them, abuse the situation, manipulate the situation. So, shout out to the lovers that are both artists and they make that's great. That doesn't always happen.
In a perfect world, 9 times out of 10 that would work, and that's 1,000%. And I do believe and agree with you on that 1,000%. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
I want to ask you,
Mm-hmm.
what do you feel is one big myth about the music industry that you like to shed light on now?
Big myth. Big myth is all of these people are on some kind of special level. The rest of them, you know, we are all the same. We are all people. We all mistakes, um, making mistakes right in front of the camera. And a lot of people, especially young people, and even some old people, that just think that for the industry are not going to mess up, or they're not supposed to mess up, as if there's some kind of special alien that, you know, obsolete. That's not, no, that's what it is. These people were born just like we were born, had to make their way to get to their success just like the rest of us are trying to do, and mistakes can happen.
Right.
You're not better than and money is not happiness. You know,
Okay.
money can make you happy for moments, but money is not the definition of happiness for long term.
It's definitely interesting thoughts for sure.
Yeah.
I myself believe that money is a very big part of the equation, though.
It is.
You
It
know,
is. I mean, another thing is people don't know that a lot of things in the industry is funded. You know, radio play. You know, you start on the radio, you hear the same artists over and over again. You know, these rotations and stuff, these things are funded. Not just because the artist's talented, because they got the coins to make that machine happen.
right.
So,
Well, that's the difference. That's the difference between you know, being young in the game and having skin in the game, is that you understand those differences, and
yeah,
definitely know that you know the ropes these days, because you've been at it
I'm
for a
learning.
long time. Shout out to Deshaun.
Shout out to
Sean Don the Bishop said he chimed in right quick, and he said, "Looks like a dope reunion." See what you did there, Deshaun.
Hey, just shout out, you know,
Shout out to
those
the Dope Fam, the original DMV killers in a music way.
yes.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh yeah, I got my anniversary badge."
Yeah.
Air thrust.
We're going to have dope reunion.
Got to get Deshaun on next season too. He's got
Yeah, shout out to Deshaun. Shout out to Phil Mason.
Phil Mason. Just chatted with him yesterday. As a matter of fact. He is uber proud of you. Oof.
I know. My pipe man, he's the best. Flash his own
Awesome. So who and or what were your inspirations?
Inspiration. I have to say Tupac. I have to. His music was just touching to me. It was art. He was a complicated person. So inspiration. Before, first and foremost, inspiration. Maya Angelou is inspiration. Martin Luther King is inspiration. The way Martin Luther King thought, his thoughts and the words that he said, you know, of course, they're the every day. I think it's the one inspiration that Maya Angelou. Of course, my friend, Scatter. Maya Angelou is very strong and very deep. Of course, I was deep people. I would say Kanye.
Okay.
Kanye, big inspiration factor to see his story. I mean, I was present watching him come up, but to see his background story, I mean, you got to get inspiration from that. Right? He knew what it was, and no matter what anybody said, he kept pushing, kept pushing, kept pushing, kept pushing. And look what it is, you know, big inspiration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And Whitney Houston.
Of course.
When I was a little girl, I read this book with you, who was a beautiful woman I saw on TV, and her voice and those teeth. So yeah.
I always just mark it ever with her little dance that she used to get.
She was trying. She had a ring.
Yeah. I used to get it. I used to love it. All right. Last question before we get to this feature. Excuse me, I'm spinning all over the place. Current aspirations in projects. What are you currently working on? What are you currently aspiring to? Where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 Years.
All right. So currently working on a couple of my tracks, of course. Putting this, which for the EP or album. We're starting it off as the EP, which may turn to an album. The movement, and it's um, going to be a good representation of all my different moments and all a lot of the things I've experienced and seen others experience. Um, may slightly a little bit confident, a little bit later on. Um, let's see, and working on the visuals for the video for Run. My second single, I won't say the name of the single just yet, but it is a monster, and I just cannot wait until we release it. Um, and in 3 to 5 years, I see myself a respected artist, like successful artist, and living in a bigger home and taking care of my kids. Like it's just what they're doing.
I love it.
That's pretty much what I see. And hopefully by that point, I'll be to the point where I can help others. You know, whether that's in the music or if there's small business, um, giving back to the community on stuff that women, men, children, sounds really our children need the help, you know. Here at DBG, the children are so lost. So I like to get back there too.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
Definitely all these things are attainable.
And make my manager little.
And do what?
And make my manager rich.
And everybody associated.
Yeah.
Change. All these things are obtainable. All of these things are doable. Like I said, I've known you for many years, and I know how bullheaded and but focused and narrow, like straight on you be.
Yeah.
You gonna get it. You gonna achieve everything you reach for because that's just who you are. So your makeup. So no doubts there.
Thank you.
Of course.
I definitely want my music to be successful and to see it in different places, Europe and all those places, Africa.
There will be. Believe it. Believe it.
Mm-hmm.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are at a good place and a good time. We here for the exclusive feature, and the exclusive feature is coming up real soon. So we're gonna let Treese talk about that in a sec. Here it comes. So the exclusive feature, Run. I want you to talk about Run. I really want you to and talk about how it came together. Just the whole, just run it out for people. And we have a back and forth dialogue over this.
Well, my manager did come on and said, get back in this and give it your all. Give this thing a whole shot. You always do it, just do it. Run was the first thing I wrote in years, like 10 years or more. And I really like the song. You can hear the passion in the song, like every single word that he's saying is true. It's pretty much he's saying, I'm back, I'm here. You're gonna listen. People have always had to listen since I was small. And I'm not whatever you used to. I ain't too, too classy with. I ain't too fancy. I like to dress fancy, but I ain't too fancy. I ain't too cute. And I'm not playing around with these words. I'm giving you real words, real lines. And I'm good. That's really what Run is about. And I don't think about no hook playing, no little cute hook. Just let it run. Let it run. Because it's going to bang, So that's what Run is about. It's touching on. I want to hop on a flight that's sort of word, and I'm going to encourage you to do it. And at one point, I was a single mom. chilling at the bar on Friday, trying to figure out Monday to Thursday as the rest of the women to understand. Cheers to you. And yeah, go blast it and go out and feel good about that beat. Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, young Michael Cole bring back.
So with Run coming up, ladies and gentlemen, we about to debut this thing out. So Treese, I want you to intro Run. I want you to just bring it in and say this is Run, and we're gonna let it rip.
All right. This is Run. Listen to it. Let it run. Treat.
Hey. Here we go. Hang on. I will take what that
Here we go.
Gotta find it. There we go. That's the there. Here we go.
How you doing? My name's Treese. I like to take walks, chill, watch Netflix, cook some shrimp dinner. But first, we're gonna get to this motherfucking money. First of all, I'd like to say welcome back. Glasses up. Cheers to me. This shit classic. Let's just keep it a buck. Cheers to you if you riding with the best, and I'm like a toy store. Everybody look but don't touch. Consider me your every dream and every season cup. New introduction, Treese, and I challenge your bluff. And to my people, no more to the back of the bus. Repping for every real bitch, and I can't get enough. Truth be told, y'all been settling for just lunch. I'm the main course, I'm your dinner, I'm your brunch. Steak and potatoes on the go, running up the cup. I keep the same cadence, warm a nigga up. A bitch bad, bring the two-step back tough. They told me since I was two, girl, you're too much. Y'all don't know these CEOs said I'm what they want. From dreaming to making dreams more than next to come. And I don't wanna hook, just let it run. I don't wanna hook, just let it run. I don't wanna hook, just let it run. On my same shit since I was one. I don't wanna hook, just let it run. I don't wanna hook, just let it run. I don't wanna hook, just let it run. On my same shit since I was one. Did it all, so I guess a chick could surf the world. I'm a real one, you can keep material, girl. Can't forget about the grind and how it burned. Keep me humble, fly coach, cause the block yearn. Paving way, tell your nigga put his socks on. T.I. bought him out with Treese, gon' keep him warm. Radio loving me, play the same song. Playlists on repeat, now we tight bond. Now I got my industry on my right arm. And y'all been taking me like a graveyard. This my destiny, so I'ma go hard. And when you see me, better know you see a superstar. Let's keep it real, single mother, work hard. Let's keep it real, single mother chilling at the bar. Happy hour on cue, DJ turn that knob. Repping for every real bitch, fuck that last call. And I don't wanna hook, just let it run. I don't wanna hook, just let it run. I don't wanna hook, just let it run. On my same shit since I was one. I don't wanna hook, just let it run. I don't wanna hook, just let it run. I don't wanna hook, just let it run. On my same shit since I was one. Y'all, that just sound like money coming. Big money coming. I'm big money. Yesterday's price ain't today's price.
Your Pandora Premium session has ended, but all your
That
playlist
just
songs and albums will be waiting for you when you return. Search and play
That
music
just
on
happened,
demand,
ladies and gentlemen.
access another session, or upgrade anytime.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Technical difficulties. These things happen, but it is what it is. But we made it through the song.
Yes. Shout out to Donnie B for doing the badass song. Did it to the world because he's a bad mother. Beep. And
Whatever.
shout out to Jay Twist. Always.
So-
Mhm.
First of all, I definitely want to shout out to Jay Twist, man, for holding the Treese camp down.
Fall
Man.
Sun, aka Fall Sun. New name. I'm sitting
yeah.
back now. I was watching. I was told by close family members of the house that I needed to sit up. Did y'all?
I just heard the noise.
That was so loud.
That was what?
That was so loud. The fireworks.
Oh, I didn't know what that was. I was like, man,
Yeah.
what you got?
Yeah. There wasn't no car back firing. But yeah, I was set up hold the people back. Ladies, it's okay to have secrets. That's it. All right. We talk about that later.
So like I said, I got to shout out Jay Twist. Jay Twist is definitely a force. I gotta get him on the show. Hopefully he'll accept my invite. But shout out to Jay Twist for holding Treese down over all of these years, man. Definitely a remarkable talent from the DMV area. Definitely. I definitely want to say too, with regard to this, we got to talk about this whole how it came together because they don't know this story. So we're gonna share this really quick. So had the convo with Treese. Out of the blue, we touch base every now and again, throughout the years, bing, bing, hey, what's up? Hey, how's the kids? All right. And we just had a conversation one day. It was just like, hey, we talked about Kanye, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about the genius.
Yeah. I was watching Jackson.
Yeah. And it's just like, hey, and I was like, hey, well, it's all the same. I always believed in your credit. I always thought you could do it. I mean, we can make this thing happen. And he was like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like I always, I bet it would be, you know what I mean? Like, all right. I was like, all right, well, I think I got a track for you, man. I want to see what you're gonna do with it. And I can't remember if I actually sent you the track or you actually had something and I just put something around what you did. But
yeah.
I sent you a folder of beats. But nonetheless, I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna let her fill in the gaps. But ladies and gentlemen, she literally wrote it, sent it back to me in like 2 days. Ridiculous. Like that's dedication, man. Like it really is. Especially you would think that there's a lot of people out there that I can do it the same day, or people can freestyle the joint like Jay-Z and then come back with hits, and it's a very long and tedious process. But for her to come back in 2 days, it just showed a lot. And this is one of my favorite records that she's done. So definitely wanted to put that on the map. What is your thoughts on how it came together?
My thoughts is time is so crazy too. I don't push the off, but Tuesday is my pastor. And just today, I missed Sunday service this past Sunday. I never missed it, but I missed it Sunday. So I watched it today of all days. And the message was time. That was his message. And I just felt that it was time. It's weird when you contact me. I watched Brandon Johnson's documentary. It was almost in tears, like, why didn't I become this? This was my dream in life, right? And to hear her express some of the same thoughts she used to have and how she used to question herself and how she went through different relationships, like just like me, regular person, and then to watch Kanye and see how Kanye was like, hey, y'all gonna take me, y'all not gonna do much beats, you gonna take me as a rapper. And then you called, and I was like, oh. I just felt like it's time. And even in your life, it was like the time was more right. In your life, the time was more right in my life. And it was like, we gotta do it. The higher power is speaking to us.
Yep. Then the universe calls, you gotta make sure make sure you answer that phone. Amen.
Yep. Amen.
Well, listen, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, that was Run. I hopefully you guys thoroughly enjoyed it. Feel free to comment in the comment section how you feel about it, either live or later on down the line when you're reviewing this back in your living room or on your computer, whatever. Just make sure that you let Treese know just how much you love and support her. Make sure you like and subscribe to Treese on all forms of social media. She's on Facebook under Treese Boulevard 1 and on Instagram.com / The Real Miss Treese. And she's got a couple other pages too, but I'll let her direct you there. You know what I'm saying?
TikTok.
TikTok.
TikTok. How did you not?
TikTok.
We will see.
Nevertheless, we got real quick. We're gonna run through the hot topics. You prepared for hot topics, lady?
I'm prepared.
Oh, okay. Check this out. We got the hot topics. Check this out. So, Treese, we ain't gonna have a lot of time to get you through this. There's some other things I want to cover, but I definitely want to introduce you to the hot topic, which is my favorite portion of the episode of any episode of the Beat. Hot topics are a series of questions that are designed for the viewers to get to know who you are through these random questions that I ask you. Keep them light, keep them fun, keep them short, but be truthful, nonetheless, because this is a way to connect to them and for them to connect to you. You accept the challenge?
I accept.
There we go. So serious. First question: 3 things you didn't know. What's 3 things that the world does not know about Treese, or 3 things that you need to clarify? Because, God damn it, they do not get no respect on your name. They need to put it there.
3 things people don't know about me. I'm OCD. All right. You want to know? I'm OCD. Got a little bit of anxiety. Who doesn't after the pandemic? I'm one of those anxiety. And so I'm a good person. People don't know me. People see me. They don't know what to think. They think I'm bougie. They think I'm bad. They think I'm weird. I am a little bit weird. I am. But I'm a real person, I'm extremely humble, extremely, and I'm not a stranger to saying when I'm saying when I'm met. The thing is, you got to prove that I'm
Okay.
Damn.
Damn.
I thought you were asking what didn't I know, but you were saying what people don't know about me, right?
Exactly.
I tell you one thing I didn't know.
What?
I didn't know what a song "Who Let the Dogs Out." I did not know they were saying who. I thought they were barking. I've been barking for years. Roo, 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 roo. They're saying who. Did you know?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was kind of, for me, it was just like,
I never knew that until it came across the phone, and I was like, "Mother, all right."
I get it.
Such another
one thing you definitely don't know, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad we brought you. Thank you for sharing.
bonus hot topic. Man.
Exactly. See, this is hot topic is amazing. First of all, they ain't got an award for that. What is the most ludicrous, hilarious thing that is just like, and people support it in pop culture, or something that one thing that you think needs more attention called upon that you've experienced? It could be anything from Lil Nas X with the baby bump to the Donald Trump in 2024, or it could be a social worker that that does pulls long hours, that does everything for everybody, but gets no light or no shine on them. You tell me.
Well, what needs more attention? The attention is on it, but nothing not being done. What I think is the United States needs to stop the government. They need to stop pretending like they don't know what needs to be done to make things move. Topic: guns and the kids. How hard is it to set a system in place in every store that's selling guns, rifles, AK-47s, AR rifles, whatever they call them? Every store has a system. When you apply for a certain gun with a certain amount of power, your application is taken. We'll get back with you. We're going to review you. We're going to review what you did in 12th grade, your last job, if you got fired for acting on the parking lot, if you've ever had a mental health visit at the hospital, and then a cop or undercover will show up at your door, see what your room looks like, your walls painted black with guns going on gun. Because if so, you deny it. That creates safer systems. That creates some of these young ones who think they can go easily buy a gun and be able to. And it also creates jobs. That's a whole department, a building with workers taking these applications, reviewing the stuff, sending out people in the field to review their house. which they probably going to need a lot of protection because if these people are really that dangerous, then they might do some harm to them when they get a house check, a pop-up check. But all of that was solved. You just thinking you're going to be 18, go back to town, power rifle, and go shoot up a bunch of people. You should not do that. And that's ridiculous that it takes, I don't know, 10 years for two sides having the same argument. And nothing is nothing. I'm a person of action, so I can't just stand watching on the news and come up with a plan, execute it, do it. That's all we're talking about. We're just talking.
And it goes back to something I always say all the time too. If everybody's talking, who's listening?
Yeah. Nobody. So that's what we need more action. You got to focus on building action.
Good call out. Very good call out. And then even better delivery of your ideas. I love it. I love it. Two more questions. Netflix what? What's on your visual playlist right now that you got you and the misters over there watching TV and you know you want to call attention to on this interview?
Netflix.
It don't have to be Netflix. It could be Hulu. It could be Amazon. It could be a movie that you've seen in the movie theater.
I'm on those. I'm really on those. I really like the stand-up joint that's released on Netflix with my favorite comedian. What's my favorite comedian name? What's his name?
He's my favorite, but I can't remember.
Cat
Williams.
Cat Williams. I don't know what I'm supposed to call him. Cat Williams. You seen it?
I saw it. That was funny. It was funny. I thought that their stand up, I wanted more time with each individual.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, it was good.
Was everyone probably got the same content. That was the. I'm a big suspense movie person, so I watch a lot of all fun joints on Amazon. I watch a lot of mystery shows like Dateline, 48 Mystery. So I like to see what people want to do, what to do.
Indeed, first 48.
That's a bad question.
See?
And the circle is really good too. The circle is different.
Yeah, that's it's different. That's what they're going to do.
Real good.
Last question on the hot topics is my playlist popping. What's on your audio playlist to get you inspired to write more, or possibly just get you through your day? You wake up, you throw your earpods in, and you just keep it moving. What's in your playlist?
Inspired. Sometimes Mary gets you inspired, but for writing, I'll put on some cards. Because Cardi puts you in that area, she puts you there.
Okay.
It's the party. But yeah, and a little bit of gospel to inspire and identify positive and to buy.
Okay.
Something about keep your head up. It's always hit every time you come on.
That's your favorite Tupac song?
Dear Mama. Maybe just baby big one first. And then
Mine used to, I don't know. I think it's a tie right now. It really is a tie between Changes and Me Against the World.
Okay.
It's right there. You know what I mean? I get around it's right there too, but I get around it's just that's a whole different to me for whatever reason.
Oh, different.
Yeah,
that's
it's a classic.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for making it through Hot Topics. So we had the air horns like a burr, 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 but whatever, that'd be too much. I got two more questions for you, and then we're gonna let you out because I know your time is precious and you on the East Coast.
East Coast.
Yeah, so I know you about to get up for work, be all groggy and everything like that. Real quick, I want to ask your thoughts on something in pop culture right There was a young lady who, and I wanted you to speak on this a little bit. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to address it.
Okay.
But it was a young lady who, basically called out one of her baby's dads because he brought McDonald's for his child, and then the 3 other children he didn't bring it for, and she got upset with him and tried to cancel him and expose him because he should be bringing food for not just his kid but the other 3 kids. So I wanted to ask you what you feel. What are your thoughts on the mom going viral for shaming ex who brought his child lunch video? And do you feel it changes the narrative about men's responsibilities to their kids? And I know this is kind of like one of those types of questions. Feel free to answer however you want to answer.
I have a question. Did you bring the kid to lunch, like to her house, and the kid was in there?
Yeah. Apparently, this is the backstory from what Donnie B knows.
Okay.
This law. Each one Google, you'll find the answers. From what my understanding is that the mom and then the ex had just broken up.
Yeah.
And I guess he felt like, I mean, I'm doing what I got to do for my kid. My kid need to eat, so he brought some McDonald's for the kid, or he just started to only bring it for the kid.
Yeah.
And even though he knew other kids, because his kid is the youngest kid out of all our kids. And he just was just like, I guess it's not my responsibility. I'm taking care of my kid. Yeah. And so she videoed him and said she was exposing him because you're not supposed to just bring food for one. You're supposed to bring food for all. And if you can't bring for all, then this kid can't eat. And he's this poor dad. So I just wanted to ask you, as a mom, what are your thoughts about that? And again, if you don't want to answer, I totally understand. This is not.
No, I'm sorry. I definitely don't think she should have exposed him. I have phone call exposed, but I don't think she should have put it out there like that. That should have been something they discussed privately. I do understand her point because I have had pain when kids are hungry. I'm real funny about that. And I believe you bring one alone. I understand those are not your kids. So that's all you can think was different. That's sticky whenever you go to somebody's house, period. You want to break somebody one thing, you got to think about it overall. But especially when you talk about the little kids. You talk about grown adults, they or maybe teenagers, they don't care. But if you're talking about other kids, that's hurtful to a kid. And even though those are not your children, sometimes situations, it's not about that. It's not about if those are yours. It's just about doing the right thing. That's the right thing, a nice thing. Now, a person could say, I ain't funny. I only had funny for my child. Okay. So then that's what you do is you tell your child, come outside. We're going around the block. And maybe let them people in the car. Because that's hurtful to kids to sit there and watch them. I can't stand that. I can't stand that. So, but I've been in a situation before where I was buying somebody something and they had a money to buy everybody something. You know what I'm saying? So I would say, eat yourself in the car, or you're going to have to break that. You're going to have to buy as much as I buy, you have to break that. Because that's what's better. So, but she should have put them out there that they want to record everything. Everything's recorded.
Well, I mean, but she did it, and she narrated it while she was filming it, that she was trying to expose him because he wasn't a crap of a guy. He wasn't ish of a man because he did that.
It takes a certain type of person to see that. Like if he's angry and can't stand her, he ain't gonna be thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Somebody calm, sister will have to talk to him. He might still be like, man, that's that. You have to care about the people. I don't like the kids.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody will eat, and that's not the situation.
I think each scenario. I don't think there's any one genre or one like classification for these situations. Everybody's situation is different because there's different economic factors. There's past that you don't know about.
Right.
There's a lot of things that's going on in the mix, and people are so quick to judge based off of a system that we are educated to believe is the truth. And this is just my opinion and my perspective on it. But we don't know what happened. We don't know if the guy if the guy was really a jerk. We don't know if the
really was jerk. Like the story was, don't write them something.
And my thing is this. I mean, at the end of the day, where do your responsibilities lie? It's like, if you go into a relationship and you with a man who has kids, and then you have a kid with that man, and then you like, okay, y'all break up, and you like, well, I got to take care of my child because that's your thought. Why are you on the hook to take care of
that's true?
You know what I mean? There's perspectives. I'm not saying anybody's wrong in the scenario because who am I to say that? What I'm saying is that there are a lot of different perspectives, and I do admire your perspective on it because everybody's talking about the man and the woman, but nobody's talking about the children.
Right, and that's the point. Because the way I think is, even if I was going to give my kids a meal, the first thing I think is, how many more are there, and how old are they? They older? They're going to punch me in the face to take his salary? Is he going to do this happen? You know what I'm saying? All of that was in my brain. So I'm gonna get a 20 piece. So y'all take my kid happy.
That's real though. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean, and if you ain't ever experienced that type of thing, you don't know that's possible. You know what I mean? So there is depths to it, which it goes to my point with what I was saying is like, to me, there's no clear cut winner in this scenario or good.
Yeah, that's not. That's for the kids.
Now,
tell the little boy maybe come outside and look right out for the money, and he might still go and say, "I haven't been down," but this is not right there in their face. But I guess the mother's supposed to be providing food too, So. Was she cooking them dinner? All sorts of questions. Like you said, there's so many questions around.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's my biggest thing is that it's no caution around judgment. People just judge, especially with the invention of Twitter. Everybody's Twitter thumbs is on edge. You know what I mean? Like, they gonna dive on you. You know what I mean? Hey, but what you mean you don't like banana pudding? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get on you, like.
I think you definitely have to get into a place of co-parenting. That takes time. Once you co-parenting for a while, or you've dealt with a couple of different types of situations, little shit ain't an issue. Like, I'm gonna just go take care of the running house or something. I don't like her. I can't stand her. But it's like, I'm just going to do this because it's nothing. But you got to get to a place of irritated and stand her. Just thinking about breaking about your child, you going to think like that. Because I've been in some situations where we don't really mess with each other.
But I agree with your point. But I think that's a testament to the grade of individuals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because to me, it's all a game of who thinks higher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's people that have serious issues but don't think there's nothing wrong with them because to them they've never had to think or elevate themselves higher.
Yeah.
To say, hey, I have these issues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And hell, I was one of them because I mean, and I know you could tell. You could tell the world, the public. Like it was one point that you couldn't tell Donnie nothing. Like I was like, I know everything. Like whatever. You know what I mean?
It's like a pity that we're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but I think to mess up how men come off and how they feel too, because you got a lot of women doing the wrong, being about the wrong thing, approaching situations all in the wrong way. So that plays a factor.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. And I appreciate your commentary. Like I said, I know we're at time, so I definitely want to get through these last two questions. I want to ask the second most important question of the entire interview, and follow that by the number one important question of the interview. What's your advice for aspiring talent, young Treeses in training, young entrepreneurs, young women of color that you know, that you are shining a light for, what advice do you have for them coming up behind you?
My advice would be first, constantly perfect your craft. Constantly work on your writing, your singing, your drawing, whatever it is. Constantly work on it so you can be at your absolute best when something happens. You know, I think about myself 10 years ago. I was not, if someone would say, hey, Treese, you want to, here, there's a record deal. I was not where I needed to be, artistry wise, perfected wise yet. You got to put that time in constantly. You can have the passion and you can have the drive, but if you don't practice, you're going to be able to tell. So that's first thing. Second thing, educate yourself on business. You know, educate yourself on what's going to be required of you. Who's going to want what is your manager going to want? What is the label going to want? What do your consumers want? What are you? Are you an entire brand? You know, what is your brand? Everything you do that you're going to present, it needs to make sense. Everything needs to make sense. Your clothes, your hair, the way you walk, the way you talk, things you attend, things you don't attend. And then constantly keep your eyes open for meeting the right people, people that can help you open the next door. They might, you know, coach you in singing. They might have some connections you don't have. And be leery and mindful of those looking to take advantage. You know, watch people closely if they're trustworthy, if they seem sneaky. You know, have to watch for all of that at one time. So but don't stop. Do not stop. That's what I learned from Kanye. Actually, don't stop.
Best people don't.
Yeah.
And the testament to that is the best people don't know how to.
And actually, Donnie, that's what I learned from you. I watched you work hard for many, many, many years. Stay at it. While I dipped out and was like, man, forget that. You stayed at it. You stayed at it. You stayed at it. Stayed at it. And every time a year or 2 years go by, you had succeeded something. You had stepped here. You had stepped there. Stepped here. Stepped there. Stepped there. So, and it paid off.
I guess the best thing I can say with that is just, you know, I live a life of inferences. I try to learn things based off everything I see, and the only thing I had to say about what you said, well, it got me crying and everything. Is you can't build a house on soft sand, man.
Right.
You gotta fortify.
Yeah.
Fortify. You gotta keep information. You gotta keep a steady diet of it. Keep trying to reinvent yourself. Keep growing.
Yeah. And shout out to Jay Swiss too, because I've watched him many times. I gave up on it. He was still hammering away in his studio, perfecting beats, perfecting music, producing, playing different instruments, becoming better at mixing, songwriting, like constantly working. I noticed that with both of you. I noticed that. And I take my little breaks and I try to jump in and catch up with y'all.
And they'd be like, no, it's supposed to be this way. No, it's got to be. Now, I don't you just think it should be?
Don't you think so?
No, yeah. I don't. But nah, you know, it's admirable. And I definitely appreciate everything that you get to say about it. And I just appreciate you and your craft. I mean, everything about you, like I said, it's just ever since I met you, you've been consistently you. I can't say that for everybody. And to me, it's that's the gravity that the world needs. People need people like you. You know what I mean? Because everybody else is so all over the place that they need something to believe in, and it's always the people that are consistent.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's
thank you. Thank you. And I'm still learning. I'm, you know, my goal is to move through music. You know, there's artists that I hear that really move through music, like Nicki and Wayne. I have to say they really like move through music. So still perfecting that.
You like you said, you're working on it, but like I said, it goes back to the same thing the same thing I said off the top was that you know you are constantly educating yourself and wanting to be you want to learn, you want to get better. So kudos to you. The last question and the most important question of the evening is, how can people learn more about you? This is your time to put out all your links. How can people reach out and touch Treese? How can they patronize your business, follow the brand, be little Treeses in training? How do they reach you?
Reach me on Facebook. You know, my regular page, which is is partial family, partial music. That's Treese. Or my music page on Facebook is Treese Boulevard 1. That's TREESEBLVD 1. So short term, Boulevard 1. And then Instagram, The Real Miss Treese. The Real Miss Treese. Hit me up. The link's there at the bottom for you. And follow me, inbox me, talk to me, ask me anything, tune into my music, become a fan. Become a fan.
There it is. So you got any last words, anything, any shout outs, any parting words of wisdom, anything that you want to just leave everybody with in this interview?
Yes, I want to say shout out to Alonzo for holding me down, helping me out. Alonzo is my other half, always making sure I'm on point. The support and care and love is much needed, and it helps us as a team. Shout out to my children, Gabby and Zoe. Gabby is moving along in life. That's my young girl. She's gonna be right behind me. Hair, fashion, music, dancing. She do it all. That's my baby. And Zoe, she gonna produce my first video. She's only 2, but no, I'm joking. Shout out to my support team, my parents, my dad, who loves my second song, by the way. He loves Run too, but that second one, that joint hit with all ages. My big support team, the Williams family, Mr. Williams, Tyra, all my friends, Shalana, Tafan, Heather, Lauren, Sheena. If I forgot you, please don't be mad at me. A lot of inspirations that I get from Arnetta. Thank you so much. All my aunts, you know, I got to get them all in. The Pox family, I love all y'all. I'm a Pox, you a Pox. I love all y'all. My sister, Kiki, Joey, I could just keep going on and on. But all of y'all that I just said, go stream my music about 10 more times each. Thanks. And the family. Love you guys. Shout out to Donnie for having me and also managing me. And we're going to get to this money. And shout out to J Twist for being my ride or die as well. Since we was like that, we're going to get to it. We make a great team. Me, you, J Twist make a great team. Phil Mason, Nick, Sean Dunn, I love y'all. And sorry if I forgot anyone. And I'm striving to not work at my 9-to-5 jobs anymore.
Indeed. Tyra Woody, by the way.
And Woody! That's Woody. Woody is my first backup dancer that I already had for my Run video. He's off the chain. He's going to start a whole dance thing for these guys out here. So we ready.
Okay.
Love you, Woody.
All right, Woody. All right. Hey, Woody. Hey, that's what it is.
And Alicia. And Tyree.
So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are at time. Definitely want to get Treese back because, you know, like I said, on the East Coast, it is sometime late in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So definitely want to get her back. But thank you for joining us, Treese. Make sure you like and subscribe. Treese with all forms of social media. Follow her on Pandora. Run currently streaming on Pandora. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. Not Apple Music. It's coming to Apple Music this week.
Okay.
All right. But it will just be just keep Googling, keep watching, and you're in a unique position to just watch Treese spread her wings and fly. So
shout out to our new team member Barbara as well.
Shout out Barbara Sanchez. Celebrity PR.
Yeah, she on it.
Yay, you know what I'm saying? Another part of the beat club. But anyway, it is what it is. Make sure you, like I said, like and subscribe Treese on all forms of social media. Follow her, patronize that business, and help her to spread her wings. Like and subscribe. Donnie B got the beats, and
also follow J Twist. His Instagram page is The Fall Sun. Okay, The Fall Sun. We'll get that up for you later.
Make sure you check out J Twist. Make sure you do that. I definitely gotta try to do that. I gotta try to see if I can get them on season 6.
Yes.
Sure. But like I said, like and subscribe. Everybody that you heard. You know what I mean? We try to keep it in the family because we've known each other that long. But nothing but good things coming. Like I said, we are at the end of season 5, ladies and gentlemen. And though I am upset, we reached an end, and the end is only a beginning of something. And guess what? Going head first into season 6, gloriously as always. With that being said, stay tuned for or be on the lookout for Run. Make sure you like and get it. The next couple singles to be determined, but they are coming, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned for that. Any visuals coming up from Treese and Treese Boulevard, or Treese and Treese Entertainment. Got to shout out Treese Entertainment.
Yeah, shout out. We started that now. It's an LLC. It's a thing. Okay.
So
Ooh, I need dancers. Come on, twerk girls.
Yeah.
Come on, twerk girls.
You ain't got no. I ain't even gonna do that, but it's all good. Ladies and gentlemen, like and subscribe all forms of social media for Treese, the Beat, Donnie B got the beats, J Twist, anybody else that we did not name. It's unfortunate, but we love you anyway. With that being said, I'm Donnie B got the beats. We live on the beat.
Aaron, Michaela, love y'all.
You heard it.
And Lay, and Yanni, and AJ. All right.
There we are.
That's it. Okay.